Hello friends, welcome to Insight with Glam Guru, episode 14. And today once again we are back in front of you with someone again special from the pageant circuit, someone who has been following the pageants, analyzing them, has an expertise over it from past couple of years, or you can say more than a decade now. But she's also working in the mainstream content field as a copywriter, and she has done a lot of recommendations to the organization and also consulted a lot of contestants from India in the past. And today we are going to discuss about something which India has been suffering from a past full decade now. And as you all know, today the topic is about analyzing India's status at Miss Earth pageant. For all of you who have joined us right now and who have been following Glam Guru from past couple of months now, I would like to tell you that Miss Earth is the only pageant in the last full decade where India was not able to place even in the semi-finals. And it was the last pageant where India won the title in the year 2010. Miss India product Nicole Faria won that title for India for the first time, but in a way it has become like a unfortunate moment for India because India could not land in the semi-final from full last decade. And there has been a lot of changes as far as the organizers of Miss Earth franchisee are concerned. Earlier it was with Mr. Mehtani, who started a Miss Earth India pageant in 2016. Earlier to him it was Glamanand, who sent a delegate for a year. Then in the year 2018, Glamanand again sent a delegate, and from last 2 years we are witnessing that Divine Beauty, Miss Divine Beauty is sending a delegate to Miss Earth, including this year. But this has come again as something which is not a pleasant sight for India at the international pageant arena. And what went wrong? How India could have made a place at Miss Earth? And we are going to analyze the pageant for you for the first time on Glamanand with my guest tonight. So without further ado, let me introduce to my guest tonight. Please welcome, we have Miss Ritika Pal from India once again. And Ritika is a mainstream copywriter. She works in an advertising agency and has been following the pageants, analyzing them, giving her expert critiques from past couple of years. Hi Ritika, how are you?
Hi Abhishek, I'm good. You tell me.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us on Insight with Glam Guru tonight, and we are very excited to discuss something which is of more importance, I think, for every pageant follower, specifically from India. I mean, a country who is a powerhouse of beauty at Miss World, also considered a strong threat at Miss Universe, Miss International, slightly okay side of a situation, but Miss Earth, instead of winning a crown in 2010, India is struggling hard to place. What is your first-hand analysis and your comment on India's status at Miss Earth?
I think we've been sending exceptionally great queens. Like last year, Tejaswini won so many awards, and she was expected to win an elemental crown as well. But unfortunately, she didn't. Like Rashi was such a beautiful girl, but she was prepared. Exactly, but she was unprepared. Like Tejaswini last year put in her entire efforts by herself. I don't think the organization helped her much. From what I've known, the organization didn't help her much, but look at what happened. She also did not play. So
absolutely, and I think yes, Ritika, I would like to discuss this and I would like to expand our discussion tonight, and I will discuss both the decades. First 2001 to 2009, and then we're gonna take 2010 to 2019, and let us analyze both the decades and compare them in context of their treatment by the organization. So, viewers, for your information, Miss Earth started in 2001 by Carazon Productions, which earlier had the Miss Asia Pacific contest for a long run in the Asia Pacific. They started Miss Earth with an environmental advocacy, and it was a very fresh idea, and a lot of countries joined the Miss Earth pageant, and Miss India organization first year nominated, or you can say handpicked, Shamita Singha for the first time, and she was placed in the semi-finalists. She also won the best national costume for that year. And after that, Miss India decided to send the third winner of Femina Miss India as Miss India Earth. So Reshmi Ghosh was the first Miss India Earth titled, crowned at Miss India pageant. And then we had many girls like Niharika, Jyoti Brahman, and many others. But I think a very good time for India was 2006 when Amruta Patki gave us the first first runner-up of Miss Earth, that is Miss Earth Air, and again back-to-back when Pooja Chitgopikar won Miss Earth Air again in 2007, and then again 2008 India was not placed, but 2009 finally Shreya Kishore placing at top 16. So that was a picture, Ritika, of Miss Earth for the first decade. What do you think? What was actually right in favor of India? We were placing semi-final, we got Miss Earth Air back-to-back, India was recognized at Miss Earth, even though Philippines was not much prominent. What would you say were the pluses of India during that years?
I think Abhishek, what matters at any international pageant, be it Miss Universe, be it Miss Earth, is preparation. And I think Times Group has consistently shown us, like since the time they've had Miss Earth, Miss World, whatever pages they have sent girls, they have sent very, very well prepared girls. So I think preparation is something which we also, any pageant has to see. One thing is the organization preparing the girl. The other factor that comes into play is how a girl is prepared. Like, her mentality also matters. Like, for example, if someone goes to Miss World thinking that, oh, I have come here, I'll enjoy myself and go. It's not going to work. Whereas, if someone goes to a pageant thinking that, oh yes, I'm going to win. Someone like Manushi Chillar, let's give an example. Manushi went with the mindset that, I'm going to win Miss World, and she did it. Similarly, if Nicole Correa, even though everyone wanted her to go to Miss Universe, she went to Miss Earth, and what did she do? She gave her best and she won. So I think there are two key things that we need to keep in mind. One is pageant preparation, and secondly, how well the girl is herself prepared and how she has taken on her training. So I think from 2001 to 2010, this was something we really did well. See, we did not play too many times. We played we won Miss Air, we were semi-finalists, but we were doing well. But the next 10 years have been a different show. And like you mentioned, I think another factor what has worked for pageantry in general is social media. Social media, the role of social media. I have constantly said that, since social media has arrived, a lot of things that were like which we did not think of before now works on social media. If people know a girl, then you can think the organization also knows the girl. That's how it works.
Do you think that the organization, if we talk about the organization's approach towards Miss Earth as a brand, was much like, something there was a time when they even made Miss India Universe, Miss India World and Miss India Earth on the same platform. I mean, 2007 onwards, they were declared as of equal status and equal stature. And, they kept pushing Miss Earth because it was a Filipino-based pageant, very prominent in Asia Pacific. Do you think that also plays a very big important role in terms of getting a candidate placed or winning a title?
Definitely, I completely agree. I see every organization wants to get recognized, and that recognition also comes from the very fact that the national pageant recognizes an international pageant. It's an equal bonding, right? You are recognizing a pageant, you are giving them a status on your stage. So I think that is also something which has come, which play an important role. Like from last year, we started last year we sat our winners as Miss Grand, as Miss UP. Similarly, we were doing it earlier, but then we suddenly stopped. So that also somehow plays a role, I feel, in things like these. So I think catching is important because at that when a girl is sat right there and then she knows I'm going to this pageant, I have to prepare this way. So right from this moment, she knows which pageant she is going. She knows what are the requirements of the pageant, and that's how she can start preparing herself for that pageant. So I think that's a very, very important point that you put out. That starting on the stage is important because it's clear out there to the audience, to the people, to the girl that I'm going here and this is how I'm going to prepare myself.
Absolutely, and I think that was really matters, and that's the exact reason that India is not placing in the second half. We'll come to that in a later point of time, Ritika. We are getting some of the comments from our followers. We have Aditya Adi, and he has joined us already now, and he has made a very relevant point I would like to add on to what he's saying right now, that why India haven't made the cut since 2010, even after winning immense subtitles like Prachi, Tejaswini, Shan Suhas, Alankrita, and all these contestants, very well performing in the sub-contest and even winning medals. Miss Earth organization is biased towards Philippines or Latin countries. Do you think that this acquisition, like being Philippines being biased towards, or if not Philippines because it's a whole country, I mean the Carrizal production having much of the concentration towards the Latin America and the Philippines, or maybe the ASEAN countries, but ignoring India. Do you consider this point or not?
See, I wouldn't say favoritism, but I would say that somewhere down the line, Miss Earth has only changed. Somehow I feel like, you mentioned like when they opened up in 2000, when they started in 2001, their advocacy still is, they are associated with UN also, from what I know. But the thing is, like, how the way the pageant has changed over the years, I think has played a major role in this, because a lot of accusation. This is not an accusation. See, every pageant wants to make its impact in every country, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
for example, like, when Miss Universe, for example, initially it was Europe, then it was Americas, then it was Latin America, then came the Asian market. That's how pageants work in general. In general, it's a very known fact that pageants work according to the market where they perform well. Now, if they see their market performing well in a Latin American setup or in Philippines, so obviously they will invest over there. But I seriously, like, till date, I haven't been able to understand, because see, it's not like Asia is not doing well.
Yes.
Vietnam won recently. Asia's been consistently there in the top 8. One or the other Asian country is always there, if not Philippines. But I think over in general, pageantry has has a different perspective now, changed differently in India also. And I think that is one of the things that is hampering us placement, and not only Miss Earth, overall in pageants as well. So I don't think it's the bias, it's just how industries work. It's just that wherever they'll find their market, they'll go there. So if they're finding it in Latin American countries, so they are going there. See, surprisingly, what's happening over now is that instead of Asian, a lot of European countries are doing well in Miss Earth. If you look at it carefully, in 2012, a European country was
Czech Republic is the powerhouse of beauty at Miss Earth, and we hardly see Czech Republic anywhere else. I mean, we have had recently, who was crowned, if you can correct me.
Last year's fourth runner-up is Czech Republic.
Czech Republic, and before that also, I'm missing one or two countries. Belarus, I think, also did well, and
Austria.
Russia coming in every alternate years, performing well, and even for that matters, I mean, where it was organized, Austria, I mean, they are doing good. They organized Miss Earth for the first time in 2015 outside the Asian continent. So that's what really matters. And I also, go by with your point, what you are saying. We again have Aditya, and he's also saying one thing. Let us also listen to it. He's saying that, do you consider Miss Earth as one of the big 4 pageant in terms of quality, winner, advocacy of the pageant? Do you support Miss Earth being a top big 4 or getting that place as well?
See, honestly speaking, I like Miss Earth as a pageant because they've always given us good winners. Not one winner has been bad. Like, I wouldn't say bad. See, other than a few, I won't name who you yourself know who I mean. Other than one or two average beauties, Miss Earth has always had very solid winners. Beauty-wise, they have always had solid winners. Like, the first winner was exceptional till date. She looks amazing. But the point remains, see, I won't say it's a good pageant to have, it's honestly in the level, because, see, if you have, this pageant has existed for over a decade now. You cannot take that away from them. So
Absolutely.
If they have existed for a decade, then there's a reason why they have existed. And that's why it's a quality pageant. And then there are still organizations which have, only a Miss Earth pageant. Like yesterday, Miss Earth Nigeria was crowned. It's an individual pageant for Miss Earth.
They conducted it for the first time virtually,
Yeah, even Miss Earth Philippines was virtually done. So there are countries which consider Miss Earth as a solid, good pageant, and that's why people are willing to go. So saying that, I would say Miss Earth is a very, very good pageant. It's only that it needs a revival. It needs to be looked over. The entire organization needs to have a look and understand what we were doing 10 years prior and how our quality has come down 10 years late. That's a simple thing that they need to do. And I think if they do that...
Let's take a couple of questions more, because we really want to join more and more people out with us. We have Karthik here with us. He's saying bang on content by Miss Pal. Karthik is also asking you a question, Ritika. Do you think Miss Earth is worth the hype at all? I mean, I think this is somewhere what you were saying, but would you like to add on to it?
I didn't get your question. Can you come again?
Yeah, he's saying, Ritika, do you think Miss Earth is worth the hype at all? The kind of hype Miss Earth gets every year? Is it worth it?
I think absolutely it deserves the hype because it's not like they don't have quality contestants. They have had really, really good contestants who are stunning. Their winners have been stunning. So I think it's definitely worth the hype. It deserves the credit it's given. It's just like I said, it needs to revive itself. It needs to look inside the organization. They need to see where they are going wrong and maybe fix themselves. And I think we can again have a very, very solid Miss Earth.
So again, coming back to our conversation, by the time let's discuss about the second half of the last 20 years, that is the last decade, 2011 to 2019. I actually have nothing to say because there is no content and nothing to put over, but I will definitely don't want to offend the legacy which has been continued by mentioning some strong names, and that are Shobita Dhulipala. She was the winner of Beauty with a Cause that year. She also won Miss Photogenic, if I'm not wrong, that too by online voting, and both the gold medals, but she was not placed at top 16. 2014, Alankrita Sahai did a great job, maximum number of title winner I think so far from India, but not to the top 16. Then we had also from Femina Miss India, Hasleen Kaur. As you mentioned, she was very gorgeous and very prominent to place, but she couldn't place. And then we had girls who I think getting not even in the contingent of getting placed, be it Aital Khosla 2015, Rashi Yadav 2016, Shan Suhas, I would like to mention, she was very good at interviews. She made her mark in a very short span of time, hardly I think 12 days before she was announced a candidate. And she delivered a great performance. For that, at least she deserved a semi-final spot. She was also placed as a semi-finalist in the interview round, and she was but couldn't make it to the final one. And then again, of course, we had very average performance by 2018 contender that she also came back from Miss Diva last year, Nishi Bhardwaj. But 2019, Tejaswini Manogana created a lot of attention. She she prepared herself according to what the Filipino pageant and the communities are looking for. There were a lot of support not only by India but also by the other countries. What went wrong with Tejaswini Manogana? And if you can pick your 3 picks which you guarantee or you really believe that they should have placed at Miss Earth.
So I'll start with Tejaswini. I think Tejaswini, we all know she was extremely prepared. She was exceptional. See, the fact with Tejaswini is she's a doctor. She's well read. She's well studied. Okay, that speaks that in itself is a big achievement, being a doctor. Other than that, if you remember, Abhishek, she was there everywhere. There was just some Filipino interview where the interviewer was so impressed. He was just focusing on her, and the other girls were just there on the side. Even the other girls had like so much nice things to say about Tejaswini. I think whereas Tejaswini on her own did really well, I think her organization failed to support her. That's how I feel. Because see, while they might have called the winner of 2018 to India and had her, all of those things matter. But then what also matters is reliability of an organization. Maybe somewhere down the line they felt that the new organization is not reliable. Something must have gone wrong over there for Tejaswini to not play. Because Tejaswini was exceptional since day one to the end, and I was very, very disappointed. I was actually heartbroken, to be really honest, when Tejaswini did not play. I think somewhere down the line, what has happened, one of the factors that I feel has happened in a lot of places, in a lot of pageants in general, is the reliability factor. Because when you have a pageant, when a national organization
I would like to counter you there. Can you pinpoint any possibility why Tejaswini didn't make it? If you are saying she was perfect, there was nothing which was missing, but there must be something. That's why she didn't place. Was there something behind the doors which we have not seen on camera? Is that something to do with the organization, or some support or lack of support maybe from the Divine Group? What must have went wrong? What can you expect from Tejaswini's unplacement last year?
I think I somehow feel somewhere around the line I feel that there was something lacking from the organization, because she was crowned in a very short span of time. She had very little time to prepare as well. So I think they couldn't support her in the right way, and that is one of the reasons I think she did not place, or lack of. I would simply put it down to lack of organization support, because I don't see anything wrong in Tejaswini herself. She's perfect. she's perfect. I think something somewhere down the line it has to do with the organization. Like I was saying.
Yes. What about you? Two other picks who really deserve to be placed in the last decade?
Alankrita and Shobhita, definitely these
Alankrita and Shobhita. So, Ritika, by your conversation also, we can certainly understand it is all about the organization, and there is no denying of the fact that the past three organizations, Blee had the Cheryl, the Miss Earth India first pageant by Sherry Hansen or Mr. Pradeep Mehtani, or the Glamanand who picked twice the contenders, and of course the current Miss Divine group have not been able to do justice according to what is required and what has been delivered. Right now, I would like to ask you one thing. You are saying Shobhita Dhulipala and Alankrita Sahai, and both were Diamonds of India product. One from Femina Miss India first runner-up, another one is Miss Diva first runner-up, and Hasleen and Prachi were also first runner-up. What is your assessment? What why, if Miss India was there, still they were not placing? And do you think it was actually a right decision of Miss India organization to leave the franchise in 2015?
Okay, so coming to this point, over here I would like to say, I think there was nothing, again, I think the demand for the page, like I mentioned a little while before, that I think the way that Miss Earth used to be before and the way it is now, I think it has changed a bit. Their requirements, how they are hosting the page, and I think the focus for Miss Earth has, I think, shifted somewhere down the line from what it was before 2010 and what it is now. And I think one of those reasons maybe is this, because India is not doing well, is because we are still in the 2010 and before zone. So maybe that's one of the reasons that we are not doing well. And what was the other thing that you asked? Okay.
Yeah, the other thing is that was it a right decision by Miss India organization to drop the franchise of Miss Earth in 2015?
See, I've always said this when we have all had this conversation before also. I've said that if we don't do well, doesn't mean that we cannot do well. We can obviously get up and do well. What is needed is like a conversation. That's how I have always felt. Always talking to the international organization, understanding their needs and their demands, and then picking up girls accordingly. If you don't have a fair conversation with the international organization, I think any person who has the franchise will never play. Because you can think that, oh, I think this girl is perfect for this pageant, but what is the organization's ask is something you have to understand. So I think Femina shouldn't have given up the franchise. They should have rather have understood what is the new demand. So that's how I feel.
I think going with the flow and changing according to the times is very much required, specifically in the music industry, because every year, every 2 or 3 years, there is a lot of change. Nothing is conventional anymore, except it's Miss International, and things are evolving at pageants every year, every 2 or 3 years. Now, let's some more questions, Ritika, because they are quite relevant to what we're discussing. We have Kritika Abhishek. She's asking, do you think FMI should take Miss Earth back once again? Are you in favor of Femina Miss India taking Miss Earth?
I've always been in favor of this. Like I've always said that we've had brilliant girls, especially since the state thing started. We've had some really good girls who can fit in different sorts of pageants, be it Miss Earth, Miss International, Miss World. So I think Femina should definitely take it back, because we have 30 girls. We are not talking about 3 girls. We are talking about 30 girls, and then there is the top 6. So top 6. If you pick at least 4 girls for an international pageant, then there is, it makes the girls also happy. It also makes us also understand that, makes us also understand, like it also makes us see that, how good the quality is. Considering the quality, I think Femina should take it back.
Absolutely. I'm going to put one more question forward because it is again by Aditya, and he's also asking the same, but I would like to alter it slightly. That he's asking, should Times Group have the franchise of Miss Earth again? And I would like to put you in, for the question, Femina Miss India or Miss Diva? According to you, which goes better now in terms of Miss Earth requirement?
I would say Miss Diva, because simply put together, simply the reason being, swimsuit is a requirement for Miss Earth pageant, because they have this best body round also, if I'm not mistaken, and obviously they have it in the finale also. So what happens is that while Femina does send girls for Grand, I've also said that Grand should also come down to Diva. Anything which requires the girls to be comfortable in a swimsuit should actually come down to Diva, and anything which isn't the requirement over there should move down to Femina Miss India, because they are after all looking out for a girl for Miss World. So there are certain pageants that move in the requirement for Miss World, and then there are some which move with the requirements for Miss Universe. So if I'm asked this question, I would say Diva should definitely take Miss Earth, like they did in 2014.
Absolutely, and I think that's a very good recommendation because somewhere it should go according to the requirement of the international organization, and I think Diva is somewhere on the similar lines. Let's take one more question. We have Nitish Kumar, and he's asking, from the 2019 batch, who would you pick for Miss Earth India 2020? If you can recall any name, or if you have someone from the 2019 batches of Miss India, which you feel that so that one can understand what they're looking for, and what do you think should have been a good choice?
I think the first name that comes to my head is Shinata Chauhan. I think she has a lot of character and a lot of personality, which you know, she kind of reminds me of Venezuela 2018. The girl called Mika. She reminds me of her. So you know, if you look at Mika and if you look at Shinata, they have very similar personalities, very young girls, but very lively, very passionate, full of life, fast. So I would.
But is it required to be like someone? I mean, why can't there be a new formula? You're saying she was somewhat like on those lines. Don't you think it was again like recycling, or you know, trying to experiment with something which has already worked out in somebody else's favor?
Maybe. Like, see, there are always prototypes that work in a pageant, so it's never not a harm to, you know, send a similar prototype. Try it. If it doesn't work, then you send an original girl. But my thought is that, you know, Miss Earth always has had certain prototypes of girls that they're looking for. Maybe it's like I said again, it's like, you know, understanding the art of the organization. But since you asked me who I think Shinata is someone who comes into my head. Because in the new approach of Miss Earth, they are looking at girls who have a lot of spark and a lot of personality, and I think she fits in right bang on.
And I also believe the same, Ritika, because I also feel personally, because for me, Shinata was someone who could be transformed into, you know, a particular format. Be it Miss Grand, be it Miss Earth, or even for Miss Supranational. If you try someone, you know, she has such a potential which could be transformed according to the requirement. So very well put together. Let's take one more question before I ask you my own questions again. We have Aparnika, and she's asking, do you think Nicole's victory made a difference in India? That's a very good question. I also want to point it out. Nicole Faria won in 2010. What kind of you know, changes, or what kind of benefit it has given to Miss Earth as a brand, or maybe as a pageant for a younger or general audiences to understand what Miss Earth is? Do you actually think there was some benefit by Nicole's victory, and what is your assessment about it?
See, honestly, I think Nicole's victory for herself was very well deserved, and I think for a year or two, people did remember Nicole and people did talk about Miss Earth. But then again, I think what happened is that, you know, the interest declined. I think after Shobita, I would say after Shobita, I think actually after Prachi, Shobita, the interest declined. But then again with Alankrita, the interest came back. But then now it is like, it's so negative in India. Miss Earth is such a negative pageant, you can say, in a way that, you know, the interest has declined. While Nicole did bring a lot of limelight to the pageant, I think we weren't able to capitalize on it. I think that's something we missed. And I think that was a missed opportunity, and that's something maybe we can, you know, somehow try bringing it back, try to capitalize it. You know, maybe you have Nicole herself for Miss Earth, in the sense that, you know, she trains or grooms or whatever, in whatever aspect we can have Nicole back, and then maybe we can have something like Miss Earth.
That's a really nice recommendation and observation by you, Ritika, and I would like to talk something now on the similar lines. What is much required now? You have experimented with a doctor last year, medical practitioner went there. You had Alankrita Sahai, a stunner, who could have played at Miss Universe also had she been an eligible candidate. You had Shobita, who is a very known actress now, very much depth in her personality, and you have also had someone very, you know, girl next door kind of a beauty, which could have been, you know, choice of Miss Earth. So we already have a lot of variety of contestants, you know, representing India. What kind of changes, what kind of approach do you think is very much required as of now in order to make India place once again?
I think what we first need to understand is how Miss Earth is functioning now. See, now they have some new rounds They have this preliminary round basically in which they do all of these different because their formats have also changed if I'm not wrong. See, while they have the similar resort fair and all of those, but then they have also now started coming up with these interviews, and they have started coming with
no makeup. Yes, there is no makeup segment. There is boys and beauty quotient. I think they're divided into 3 categories. Yes.
So a lot of different aspects have come out. Like they have added more to the pageant. So I think first we need to understand what are the add-ons that they have added, and then we need to basically breaking the Miss Earth pageant down is how we can fix this problem. We have to understand what is the organization asking for, then break it into this, then ourselves understand what kind of girl can work, and then that's how we should, start working on.
Ritika, there is one question which is coming in my mind. You said that Miss India should consider having Miss Earth, and you said Diva should be a first choice for you, and then of course Femina Miss India also, because Miss India every year had a lot of variety of contestants. I want to ask you, if Miss India decides to have Miss Earth, for instance, should they place it below Miss Grand or above Miss Grand? And same with Miss Diva, should the contestant be below Miss Supra or above Miss Supra as a first runner-up? What should be a position with the fact its legacy, its additions, its kind of market presence, and of course the relations with Miss India organization?
When I started following pageants, it was always Miss Earth, Miss Universe, Miss World, and Miss International, correct? So call me old-fashioned or whatever you want, but I would always place Miss Earth a little higher than Miss Grand. I would always place it higher than the supranational as well, simply for the fact that, like I've mentioned before, it has lasted for more than a decade. There's a reason for it lasting that long. Many pageants have come and many pageants have gone, but Miss Earth has still, whatever it may be wrong with the pageant inside, whatever we are not placing, but it's there. It's a well-known name, and it has had some superb winners. So I would place it higher than either be it Miss Grand or Miss Supranational. It would go higher for.
Absolutely, and I think that's what I also believe, because Miss Earth is something which has, again, it's about the legacy. If a pageant is 60-year-old like Miss World, or 59 like Miss Universe, or Miss International, 50th anniversary they're gonna celebrate next year, it is something because of something, and that's what I think is a very much edge for Miss Earth. They have survived and they have consistently been able to successfully spread their pageant. Now, since we don't have much of time, Ritika, and I'm really enjoying this conversation, but before going, I would like to ask you some final questions. I want to ask you, like, we have discussed about all these, what went wrong, what could have been done, what could be the possible choices. What next now? Do you think Miss Earth has a market, has a brand presence, and of course has an acceptance in India as a title? And if Miss India decided to take it back from next year, do you think there is a big chance that a placement or a victory can turn the table in favor of India, or it will take now a full decade or quite a while now to bounce back?
I think coming back to answer your question, I think India can certainly do well. It's just that how we need to understand the pageant once again. If we understood it before 2010, then why not 2020? It's simply a conversation I think which needs to happen with the organization, understand what they want, and then we can always have it back again. Then we can train the girls accordingly. We can pick the right girls. If we know what they're asking for, then the selection for the girl also becomes easy, and then training obviously becomes easy. Another thing that I think what would add value to this would be having some of the former Miss India Earth winners who have done well, especially Nicole, then Pooja Chitgopekar, Amruta Patil. These girls have done. So these girls have done well. So if you can have it for Miss World, like for example, when they started these mentoring zones where they had Neha, Rupia, then they had Pooja. So they were asking former winners to mentor them. So if they can have it for Femina Miss India, then why not for a international pageant like Miss Earth, where we have been doing so, we are performing so pathetically. So I think it's time that the organization, whatever organization it is, whether it's the Divine Group, in Femina Miss India, former winners should be there, so that they can help the girls out and make them
very like kind of an obvious question these days, because there is a lot of acquisition, a lot of speculation about Miss India pageant being more concentrated toward Miss World, and at the same time, since Diva is all about Miss Universe, they happen to ignore Miss Supranational also many a times, with the fact they have 2 title holders from India from the same camp. Do you think that it's going to be a big challenge in front of the organization to maintain the novelty of Miss Earth along with Miss World, and with the kind of requirements Miss World is also looking and expecting from India? Do you think it's going to be a big challenge for Femina, and how would you recommend to place it so that it solves the purpose and also gains a lot of attention?
I think it's never going to be a problem, because we've seen a year where Meenakshi did well, whereas Anukriti just came in the top 30. We've also seen another year where Vartika did exceptionally well and Aditi unplaced. So it's never been that case. It's just that, yeah, the main title goes to Miss World and the requirements are accordingly. But what I feel is that Femina Miss India organization has never been biased. It has always given equal training, equal footing, equal. Yes. I think it's been very, very equal to every pageant. Even this year, all our girls took stunning, whether they placed or did not place. That's a different story. But I think this organization has always been very apt with their training. They have never lacked it anywhere. Somewhere down the line, it also depends on the girls, how they take up the training. I've always said that, an organization can do so much only. It's up to the girls to take it on them. So that's how I feel. I think Femina's never lacked in their training, neither are they lacking in Miss Universe. Now, they have actually selected their girl, and she's in the process of training. So I think while if Miss Earth comes back to Miss India, whatever, be it Miss Viva or be it Femina, does not matter. It's just that Miss India organization will do their best, and they'll send the best. They'll do everything possible to have the girl place.
Absolutely. And with that comes my final question, Ritika Pal, for tonight's Insight with Glam Guru. Do you think Miss India organization is the only choice, only expectation, only option, and only hope for India to place at Miss Earth? Or do you also feel that the current organization or a new player could do justice to it, or it's only about Miss India who can push the envelope further?
See, the fact, to answer your question honestly, I would still put my money on Miss India, because they have won it once, they have placed so many times, they have done exceptionally well. So I will definitely put my money on Femina Miss India, because I think what the most important fact that we've both been talking around in this conversation is reliability, and Miss India organization is relied by not only Miss Earth, I would say it is relied by other pageants also. So I would put my money on Miss India organization, not any other organization, because we've seen what's been happening in the last 10 years. The 3 different organizations trying their hands, nothing's worked so far. I think it's time that Miss India does take it back.
Absolutely. And with that, I think it's a really nice point to conclude that it's all about someone making an extra effort, and since Miss India has already put in a lot of effort and they have proved it once at being crowned as Miss Earth for the first time, but also get Miss Earth air twice, placed consistently in semi-final. It's just about some sort of changes and some new approach towards the pageant as per the requirement of 2020, and I think that's what is really much required in order to get once again back in the game at Miss Earth. Thank you so much, Ritika Pal, for joining us tonight on Insight with Glam Guru. It was a pleasure having you with us, and your expertise, your insights, and the kind of suggestions you have given, I really feel that are going to benefit a lot of people, and also specifically to the organizations also who are trying to push these pageants further. Thank you, Ritika, for joining us today.
Thank you.
So guys, that was Ritika Pal joining us on Insight with Glam Guru. We were discussing about Miss Earth pageant, its possibility, and the kind of status it currently shares and prevails at Miss Earth. We wanted to give you an insight about it, to understand how Miss Earth works, what are they looking for, and definitely if it's going to come back to Miss India or with the existing one, with kind of new approach, the current and contemporary approach, which is very much required, it's not going to be a big thing for India, not only to place but also to win the title very soon back again. Thank you so much, friends.